Welcome to the Jedi Survivor photo mode review. First things first, is it good? Oh yeah. But before we begin, I need to touch on the key new elements between Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. And these are worth mentioning as it will make a difference when it comes to gaming photography. The biggest difference so far has been the amount of customization you can do in Jedi Survivor. I don't know if you guys recall, in Fallen Order, you could customize a variety of things such as Cal's poncho, the Mantis, BD1, and also compose your own saber, including the emitters, switch, sleeves, material, etc. Respawn did a fantastic job in this space, with a variety of options, including customizing even more your own saber. You can also fully customize BD1 and its different components, and this time around, Respawn decided to go a bit further than Mexico and introduce other clothing apart from the poncho. You can basically swap tops, pants, shirts, and a variety of color palette combination. You can even change Cal's beard and hair. However, the Mantis customization though, that's gone. All these changes play a positive impact to the game, not only making fun more enjoyable, but also helps gamers create their own unique look when capturing game photos. Obviously, you don't have everything available at your disposal when you start, and you need to find this spread across the different planets, which by the way are far much bigger in terms of scale compared to its predecessor. From a photography standpoint, I did face some minimal clipping issues with some of the outfits, so keep that in mind when rotating them around. Firstly, Jedi Survivor is a hell of a game. Oh my god, this game is so good. The fact that this game was also shipped with a photo mode at launch is commendable. If you're a dev thinking about photo mode, please do it like Respawn. I have seen devs delivering photo mode or major updates to photo modes after, which can be a missed opportunity when majority of your player peak may have switched to their next game in backlog. Okay, so I spent nearly over 30 hours in experimenting a variety of compositions with photo mode. And this tweet got everyone wondering, how much has it changed compared to Fallen Order? Before you even begin, the first thing you want to do is set up a shortcut to enter photo mode. However, you may need to sacrifice a button for it. In my case, I opted for the touchpad, which is the map that loads the holomap. After all, nobody can read that map anyways. Now, in terms of controls, it's pretty much the same as Fallen Order. L2 and R2 basically make the camera go up and down. L3 and R3 will help you position the camera focus. R1 and L1 switch between the photo mode tabs. Triangle will hide the photo mode menu, but keep in mind you can't change any values when hidden. And pressing R3 will reset the camera and filters back to when you enter photo mode. Let's start covering the features. Similar to its predecessor, Jedi Survivor provides a generous camera range. Very few games give you this kind of freedom. It's just insane how far you can actually go with the camera. One of the big improvements I wanted to see from Fallen Order was the jittery kind of motion blur issues when entering photo mode, especially during action shots, and I'm really glad to say that these issues are now resolved in Jedi Survivor. The depth of field remains the same, but since I played Fallen Order, it wasn't very challenging to get used to it again. You can always adjust the aperture to make things less or more blurry. Don't need to always use it, but it helps create a focal point. Pov and tilts basically control rotation and zoom of the camera. For the portrait novice, yes, it does rotate 90 degrees. Exposure and contrast, so tick. And now this last feature, save camera position, this is a very handy feature, in particular when you're trying to use the lights that comes with the game, which I'll cover later on in my review. Okay, next section, filters. Some really nice filters, but I would always recommend reducing the filter intensity a bit to create the style you want. 100 seems to be far too much in my opinion. I found the values between 25 to 50 a good range to play with. Now the next two sections are for the logo and frame logos. I majority of the cases I have used the frames, in particular the last one, to give more like a cinematic look, which translates to a 21:9 aspect ratio. Now this is where we roll the drums, the lighting mechanism. And this had a significant overhaul compared to its predecessor. Previously in Fallen Order, there were 3 static 3-point light system. It could still change intensity and color, but still limited where they were positioned. Now in Jedi Survivor, you can do whatever you want. The tip is to move the camera and turn the light on and the color you want exactly at a particular spot. If you don't like where you placed it, you can basically turn the lights off and move the camera again and turn back on. Obviously, when compared to other games like Miles Morales, the system could benefit from showing the position of the lights, as this would make the process less time consuming. However, it does not take too long to get used to it. Similarly, the type of light, cone versus orb, will also be very good additions to the photo mode. And before you start placing the lights, I would always suggest to set your compositions first and then use the save camera position feature in the first tab. That would make the process much easier. Now our last question, I guess more for PC players. Does this photo mode need a mod for free camera? And to be honest, I don't think so. I didn't feel limited in any instance by it. And to be honest, I'm always glad to see a robust photo mode that people can experience gaming photography the same way, whichever platform they are playing on. Now that brings us to the final verdict, and I truly love the changes that the team of Respawn brought into an already successful photo mode, and I couldn't rate this any differently. It's a world-class photo mode that many devs should be inspired. Thanks Respawn and EA for putting the time and energy into this photo mode. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment below what are your thoughts about this photo mode. And I'll see you next time on the channel.